The following is a Cryptocurrency Wire audio production. Cryptocurrency Wire is one of 50 plus trusted brands from the Investor Brand Network, IBN. As a multifaceted financial news and publishing company, Investor Brand Network uses its network of more than 5,000 key distribution outlets, as well as other corporate communication tools, to introduce public and private companies to a wide audience of investors, consumers, journalists, and the general public. Our reputation for highly efficient communication strategies is based on the experience and relationships our team has in the space. It is Investor Brand Network's unwavering commitment to connect the investment community with companies that have great potential and a strong dedication to building shareholder value. The following interview may feature a client partner of Investor Brand Network. Investor Brand Network may have been compensated for the production of this interview. Please be sure to read our entire disclaimer for full disclosure.
Thank you all for joining us for our latest podcast episode with the CEO of Propy, a company at the forefront of revolutionizing real estate through blockchain. The total global real estate market value now stands at approximately $300 trillion, and Propy is tackling one of its biggest challenges, liquidity. Natalia, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone.
Thank you. So there's a lot of excitement around blockchain's potential to simplify and secure real estate transactions. What are some of the broader implications, and how is Propy driving things forward?
Yeah, you're absolutely right that it's a huge market, over $300 trillion market opportunity here globally. And I think the main promise of this innovation, of on-chain innovation in this industry, is that we'll be able to turn this real estate asset class into a digital asset class. It's into a financial asset, because it's the only asset that behaves truly as digital, because it's not possible to move the walls, yet the ownership itself is a movement of a record in a database. And that's why this industry, which has not been changed for decades, is prone to this leapfrog jump to an on-chain innovation.
So how is Propy working with governments and financial institutions to increase trust and ultimately adoption?
Yeah, so first of all, we, of course, were focusing on getting the product market fit from the free market standpoint before we engage with governments and financial institutions, even though we had a proof of concept in 2018 when the first ever county in America was using blockchain to record deeds. That was a major breakthrough for the real estate industry and the blockchain industry, proving that one of the main use cases written and described in the blockchain books is actually doable, and the governments are open to it. But then we had to spend a number of years on truly finding the utility for the end user. So we were able to automate the real estate transaction closing so that the consumer who is buying a property doesn't even have to know what's on the back end. Is it a TCP/IP protocol or a blockchain protocol? It's a very user-friendly experience, 24/7 transparency in the transaction, a lot of savings on time and cost. But now, with the crypto administration being so friendly to blockchain intervention, we are eager to collaborate with regulators and institutional players. I think it will be critical for mass adoption and blockchain records and smart contract settlements to become a standard initially in the United States and then potentially globally. So we had a number of conversations with policymakers and regulators in DC starting earlier this year, and they're continuing almost on a daily basis. Our team is engaged whether in person in DC or via Zoom meetings. And the conversation around housing affordability is again back, and the regulators are looking at the transaction automation as one of the key pillars addressing this, one of the critical pain point of Americans.
Makes sense. So can you share any specific success stories of high-profile real estate deals completed via blockchain?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess I would give two examples. First, it's not such an expensive property, but it's a property that we've sold entirely on chain. It was a $650,000 single family home in Florida. And what's fascinating about this deal that it was fully transacted on chain within minutes, and the buyer of this property was not actually a crypto friendly or crypto native user, so to say. It's a real estate investor who trusted our process, trusted the notion of blockchain being immutable, trusting the smart contract. And within hours, they were onboarded by our team on USDC, on the crypto wallet. And then they executed the deal within 24 hours using our protocols. They owned the real estate right away. As soon as they saw it, we onboarded them. In comparison to what would be a 30-day of anxiety and this long closing process. So these clients were very happy with the whole process, that it's easier to get on board with crypto within a couple of hours than to get into this 30 days of waiting and closing and a lot of opacity and so on. So that was a very interesting use case, because these people were risking, right, with their $650,000 to put on chain to transfer it from their bank account into crypto. So for a first user in crypto, I think on its own, it's quite a high value risk, but they did it. Everything worked perfectly. We had a number of such deals. And the other example was a $40 million home by Grant Cardone. So he used our listing platform. It didn't end up selling, but he did use our listing platform. He appreciated how much visibility he received from the crypto community. Propy has about 200,000 members that are interested in both crypto and real estate investment. And so he didn't end up selling it, and I think he made a major mistake because he priced this property at $40 million, and he was willing to accept Bitcoin about 12 months ago. So imagine if he would believe in Bitcoin, a little bit earlier, like a year, because now he believes in it. He created this fund, Bitcoin, and real estate denominated. But if he would believe in Bitcoin a little bit earlier, and he would have a good asking price, market price, because he admitted that he wanted a premium because he would sell to Bitcoin holders. But Bitcoin holders, they want a good deal. And so it didn't sell, but if he would, let's say, put it at $30 million sale price, I think today, if he would hold Bitcoin, he would end up at having at least $60 million. So that was an interesting usage of our listing platform.
For sure. And there's a lot of correlation between, property in the sky. That's kind of the way I look at Bitcoin. There's quite a few different advantages when it comes to, well, just comparing property taxes, different storms that can come through, whether it's hurricane or something else. But on the other hand, we all do need to, place to live, and kind of bridging, all the value that's been created, not just in the last 12 months, but in the last 10 plus years. And, giving people a way of unlocking that value is really, really cool. And of course, more people are open accepting it that way. But let's talk about your new product. You recently announced that you're rolling out crypto-backed loans that can be used to buy houses, and I'd love to hear more about how that works.
Absolutely. Being a crypto founder, I strongly believe that Bitcoin is the ultimate store of value, and it's a pristine collateral, pristine asset to be leveraged to acquire other types of assets. And in this historic transaction in 2025, earlier this year, we did the first ever Bitcoin loan to be used to acquire a home entirely on chain instantly. So people and Bitcoin holders were able to bid on a property with their Bitcoin assets in a form of a collateral. and the highest bidder was able to get an instant loan in USDC, and this amount would be sent to the seller, and then the property would be owned by the Bitcoin holder. So now we as a capital provider, Propy has dual collateral, both the home on chain that is liquid and easy to sell if needed, as well as we own Bitcoin. Not own, but we were eligible to make a margin call if Bitcoin goes down or if the buyer is not able to pay their installments. And then the seller, the beauty of the whole transaction is that the seller got the USDC right away. Then the buyer benefit is that they didn't have to prematurely exit their Bitcoin position, pay taxes. So they still own Bitcoin. And of course, those of us who hold crypto, we believe that the industry yet to appreciate, and Bitcoin will go up in value in the next 2 years. So there is no brainer for this scenario, getting a loan for a real estate asset and keep seeing how Bitcoin is appreciating.
Very cool. Yeah, lots of tax advantages, and being able to still have that upside is huge. So how do you see the tokenization of real estate assets shaping the industry in, say, the next 5 years?
Yeah, so tokenization in real estate has two types. One type of a tokenization is fractional ownership, where you own a piece of a property and it's a security token. And there is nothing wrong about it as soon as the seller of this property has filed with SEC under Reg D, A, C, or D, and they're selling it as a security token offering. It's absolutely legal. It's very straightforward. T0 is one of the exchanges that I recommend. I personally own a St. Regis security tokens representing ownership in a hotel. So that's one type, fractional ownership. There are a number of startups that are doing that. Propy is not doing that yet. And then the second one, which is more fascinating to me personally, is real estate tokenization of a process where we tokenize one home at a time, which does not make it a security. So it's not a security because you're selling a home, and one entire property being sold to one purchaser is not a security. So we're able to tokenize the ownership itself and sell it. And also we're tokenizing the process. We are enabling smart contract driven closing, where the human interaction within the process will be decreased gradually. And we have decreased it already in Propy using both AI for document processing as well as smart contracts for the settlement itself. So tokenization absolutely will change the real estate industry from all those three lenses, and it would mean more access, inclusive access for different demographics to the real estate asset class globally, not only in the United States. It means equal opportunities for the consumer to own the home and dictate the rental market versus the commercial institutional ownership of the real estate asset. I think it has tremendous implications. And the final one is actually the impact in the developing countries, because many land assets are still not recorded. And thus, developing countries don't have financing opportunities because they cannot use their homes or their land as a collateral. So it's a foundation blockchain enabled asset in real estate. It will be further the foundation of capitalism and of democracy around the world. So I'm very thrilled about the impact of tokenization in this asset class.
Yeah, it's readily apparent, and you're saying so much in so few words. It's really incredible, because this is pretty complex stuff, in general, and it really looks like you're covering all the bases. But just in case, I have to ask, are you working on anything now or in the future to further disrupt traditional real estate?
Yeah, we're cooking a lot of new things, a lot of new inventions. I think every year we've been doing some impressive breakthrough innovations, such as we did the first county records in the United States approved by a government for recording. Then we did the first ever smart contract enabled settlement, first ever Bitcoin loan, first ever NFT as a sale on chain. So every year there's something that we invent for the future of the real estate industry. So now we're working on 2 more inventions, primarily in the convergence of AI and smart contracts. So look forward to announcing those news. And I think one of the most impressive one would be a government-approved AI agent in closing, where a non-human is closing a transaction alongside the human receiving the license to do those services, to be allowed by the government to do those services, but most importantly, eliminating the wire fraud, title fraud, deed fraud, identity fraud issue in America, and just making the whole process prone to eliminating all the human mistakes and making the transaction so expensive. So we're working very hard. Our engineers are very smart, and I can't wait to reveal all the upcoming inventions.
Wow. Well, obviously, we don't want you to give away all your secrets, but I am curious where you see Propy in the next 5 years and just how investors can stay ahead of the curve in blockchain real estate.
Absolutely. In 5 years, we aim Propy to become the go-to platform to close a transaction in real estate, to be a household name when it comes to real estate purchases. And then we would expand to high-value assets of any class, not only real estate. We want to tap into financing opportunities, as I mentioned before, with this Bitcoin loan being the first one executed. And then institutional adoption for sure will make these inventions that we're working on a standard, initially in America and then globally. So I strongly believe with the current crypto-friendly administration that our standards would be recommended. Our standards would be, in 5 years, the solution of addressing such issues such as fraud, such as housing affordability from the transaction point of view, and the impact on financing globally. So yeah, I think that the next 5 years will be very, very interesting for the real estate industry.
Yeah, I have no doubts. And this has really been such an incredibly insightful conversation of what that future can look like. I mean, we covered a lot, everything from the transformation of the real estate market to crypto-backed loans, tokenization, your vision for tackling liquidity challenges. And one of the largest financial markets in the world is truly inspiring. And I'm excited to see what's next for Propy as you reshape the future of real estate.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you so much, everyone.
This audio interview is an original broadcast provided by Cryptocurrency Wire. Cryptocurrency Wire, CCW, is a crypto wire news and content distribution syndicate that provides access to a syndicate of wire services via InvestorWire to reach all target markets, industries, and demographics in the most effective manner possible. Cryptocurrency Wire is another brand under the Investor Brand Network. Investor Brand Network may receive payments for corporate communication relations, as well as various press releases and social media solutions provided to its clients. You should assume that officers and directors of Investor Brand Network or financial analysts mentioned hold a position in and may intend to trade the securities for their own accounts. This interview is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell securities. Information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be, or should it be construed as investment advice. As in all investments, investment in the featured company carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the company thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This audio interview by Investor Brand Network is not purport to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from featured company and other sources, but not verified nor guaranteed by Investor Brand Network as to completeness and accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice. Please see our full disclaimers and disclosures at investorbrandnetwork.com.